What's going on, guys? Black Scout, Survival, Friday Night Live. So let's start off talking about Hawaii first. There's fire, a lot of inconsistent stories. We have people from the island saying a lot of contradictory statements from that of the media, and just really sketchy all around. It seems like a lot of corruption going on with it, and a lot of various people involved. But I think the biggest thing and the biggest thing that's like dinging on the radar is our government and how they're acting towards. So Joe Biden was asked the other day about it, and he said no comment. And now I have a video of him being asked about it again yesterday, and this is what he says.
Are you trip, sir?
No, not now. I'm going to be leaving. I'll be there on Monday.
Why is it important that you go?
Thank you.
Sir, on the family issue.
Thank you, Mr. President.
So no, he just says no, and he'll go there Monday. And I mean, this is American lives, and yeah, just whatever. If it was Ukraine, it'd be a whole different story. So following along those lines, just the Biden administration, Afghanistan withdrawal, just so many just failures. Another day he was on, giving a conference, and he was like yelling, saying that there was no failures. This is a huge one here. Not a lot of people. This is underreported, but the Pentagon is considering plea deals for defendants in 9/11. So 5 men that were held at Guantanamo or Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, are facing charges with a military tribunal. They're accused of aiding the 19 men who hijacked the airplanes that crashed into the World Trade Center, New York, and the Pentagon on September 11th, which took about 3,000 people's lives. Their charges include terrorism, conspiracy, murder, violation, law of war, and they all carry, this carries the death penalty. And their trial has been delayed for 20 years. And so many of the families actually of the loved ones that died at the Trade Center received a letter from the Pentagon and FBI this week that explained that the U.S. chief prosecutor has been negotiating, considering entering into a pretrial agreement, plea deal to the terrorists that killed Americans on our soil and put us in one of the longest battles in history, wars in history, taking a lot of soldiers' lives as well, and so they're giving these guys a plea deal. It's mind-blowing. And every other week they're trying to indict Donald Trump, but they're giving plea deals for terrorists that took a ton of American lives. That's the Biden for you. So let's get to this IRS agent that was fatally shot during a quote-unquote routine training. One of my subscribers actually sent me this from the local area yesterday. I got busy yesterday. I was unable to do a live, but he sent it to me because he's from this area. And so what happened is like the title reads, an agent with the IRS is dead after being accidentally shot by another IRS agent during a training exercise yesterday at a federal gun range in Phoenix. The guy that was the special agent that was killed has been identified as 47-year-old Patrick Bauer. So the Federal Bureau of Prisons confirms that the incident occurred at their gun range, and multiple federal agencies were using at that time for quote-unquote interagency training agreement. And so they said no other Federal Bureau of Prisons employees were injured during this time. These quote-unquote special agents with the IRS, why the IRS has special agents is still beyond me. But they're part of the Criminal Investigations Division, CID, with the Phoenix Field Office. And so they're a branch of the IRS that are essentially fully sworn law enforcement officers who investigate violations of the IRS code. And we're talking about tax crimes, money laundering, Bank Secrecy Act violations, There's about 3,000 of these employees worldwide, and 2,100 of those being special agents. So the thing is, this is some kind of routine training for people to be shot on a training range. I mean, and killed is absolutely mind blowing. Like, what kind of amateurs are these folks? Well, I'm gonna show you, okay, real quick, in a moment. But I do want to say, how does this make you feel knowing that the Biden administration hired 87,000 IRS agents to come hit the middle class? Well, the House Republicans, if you remember, tried to stop Joe Biden from doing that. But Kevin McCarthy, actually struck a deal with Joe Biden, and the 87,000 IRS agents stay. So this is the guy people are saying how great he is, Kevin McCarthy. He kept 87,000. He made a deal with Joe Biden to keep 87,000 IRS agents that are coming to hit the middle class. And you can say what you want, but that's what they're doing. Because why would you need this many of them? But let's talk about why something like this could have occurred. I'm going to show you some training footage of these new agents. Let's look at it.
So we'll take it along the wall and line up on the wall, okay? All right, there's good. You can do your line up there, whoever's going first. All right, you guys got everybody here? All right, you all ready? Guns out. All right, whenever you guys are ready, you can go.
Please, federal agent, freeze. Put your hands up.
Did you see these guys upon entering? They're not clearing the room, number one, so they could be taken out very quickly. But the other thing is they were flagging each other. So they're walking in and pointing their firearms at each other. I mean, not something you want to do.
Where's that hands up? Put your hands up. Stop moving.
Who are you looking for?
Do you have any weapons up, sir?
What are you looking for?
Look fresh and careful.
That's it.
No, sir. Stay put. That is not.
I mean, these guys like they've never held a pistol before. Yeah, they're flagging each other. They don't know, they're taking their eyes off the suspects. See this guy looking back. He's got his thumb sticking up in there. I seen one guy with his finger on the trigger. Absolutely slobs. So this probably answers your question how someone was shot at a range.
Sir, do you have any weapons on you?
I don't even know who you guys are. I'm not saying anything.
Sir, I'm an IRS special agent. I have any weapons on you?
I'm not saying anything.
Did he say, "Hey, this is IRS. Nice to meet you"? I think that's what he said.
All right,
You do what you got to do. I'm not saying anything.
turn around.
I have a permit. It's
Legal
legal.
behind your back.
Can we take your weapon, please?
Well, you better ask me. I don't know. I'm gonna say no.
Spread your legs.
Get arrested?
Their guns are pointed everywhere. Some at the ground, some at each other.
Do you have any other weapons on you?
Hands behind
No.
your back.
Look at how he's holding like a cup of English tea right here to the right. You see how his hands underneath? He's holding like a cup of tea there. Finger on the trigger there, and he was holding his like this. Look at that, the blue pistol to the left here. He's holding it like he's holding a frisbee. Thank goodness this suspect is compliant, right?
Under arrest for conspiracy.
Yeah, the one guy was holding his thumb like on the slide. So if he was to squeeze the trigger, I mean, he would have broke his thumb. Wow. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so IRS through history, you know, you may know this, you may not. They've been used for a very long time to target conservatives. Most notably, in recent year, they were targeting the guy. What's his name? Matt Taibbi. I think he's in this article, and he was a journalist with who uncovered collusion between Twitter and the federal government during the 2020 election. He testified before Congress about his findings, and on the same day that he testified, IRS agents showed up at his house claiming that his 2018 and 2021 tax returns had been rejected. The same day he testified before Congress. So it's crazy that the things that they do, you know. But throughout history, we've seen this. We saw Obama send IRS agents after the Tea Party, which was a conservative group, and they had to go through litigation for many years. They wound up getting millions of dollars in lawsuits, but they were targeted by the IRS for many years. I'm talking about just random individuals within the group, conservatives, and they were going after them. They actually stopped their 501c3 whenever they were trying to apply for it for a very long time. So they just did everything they possibly could to try to shut down this conservative organization. So you probably also may or may not remember this, but a guy named Bill Cooper who wrote Behold the Pale Horse. And if you hadn't read that book, I definitely recommend reading it. But he was targeted by the IRS as well, which ultimately led to his death. He was targeted by the IRS. They sent agents to his house and the local sheriffs to serve a warrant for the IRS. And he wound up getting in a shootout with those agents there. And they ultimately shot and killed him. But you see here, this is just a few months ago, we have Chairman Jordan raises an alarm on potential of IRS weaponization against the American journalist Matt Taibbi. So we've seen time and time again where these organizations like the FBI, notably even the FBI going after IRS agents that were in the Hunter Biden case recently. We saw that as well. We saw 2 IRS agents that were relieved of their duties because they were going after Hunter Biden. But we've seen these 3-letter Fed organizations, they keep going after American people. Anyone who opposes them, they're targeting. And it doesn't matter what realm it is, all the way from President Trump, his amigos, and then going down to journalists, going to anyone that opposes the left Marxist regime, and you get targeted. It's an easy way to do that. I actually had a buddy of mine tell me that, you know, it's very, the reason why they use the IRS is because the IRS is an easy ploy to get someone, right? Because usually you can find a mistake or error, because most people make errors when they're filing their taxes in some realm, or your accountant does, and they can use that to start digging. Right. And when they do that, and so this is if they're trying to target you for some reason, right? It's the same reason why people with ham radio licenses, why I very much oppose to that, is because you have to sign a document, meaning saying that the government, FCC, can come into your house and view your equipment. And a lot of ham guys like, oh, they're just going to view your equipment, but they never do that. But what if they're targeting you for some reason? Let's say they want you because you've said something on Facebook, and they want to come to your house. They want to plant something, they'll plant a bug, or they want to just give a reason to get into your house, and they use that component to go into your house. Or maybe it's the ATF or your SBR, your suppressor stamp, because you got that, and you are having to show them that if they want to see it, and they use that to come into your house, right? Oh, well, you know, but you got to understand, these people are being weaponized. So it's fine if you're just a guy who sits on his laurels and doesn't ever say anything, and you go along and you're getting on the cattle trailer for slaughter. You don't have to worry about that. But if you're a guy out here that's outspoken, you're posting stuff online, maybe say something to the wrong guy at work, and the next thing you know, you got agents showing up at your house, and they just want to see your ham radio. Oh, well, what's that over there? Let's look over there. Right? It's any kind of excuse. So anything they can do. The IRS shouldn't be raiding people's houses, but they do. Right? Under what ploy? And if you don't believe me, look into the Tea Party and see the hell those folks went through from the IRS. They used every piece of leverage they could to try to destroy these people's lives. Hence why they won $1 million of lawsuits. But the thing is, we now have 87,000 agents, special agents out there that, as you saw, don't know how to handle a firearm. They're killing each other out on the range. It's like INFAC all over again, right? You remember those guys shooting each other in the streets. So this is what we have, and these are the type of people. These folks are like Spartans. They're going to come to your house afraid and accidentally shoot you. I mean, I don't want these people in my house. I don't want any these people around me at all. They're shooting each other at the range. So anyway, guys, I wanted to share this with you because it's not being reported. I also want to share the plea agreement that they're trying to give to terrorists. Meanwhile, they're trying to indict Donald Trump. It's absolutely disgusting, this country, the way it's headed, the people in charge of this country at this current moment. Joe Biden not caring about American people, not wanting to go visit Hawaii, and probably because we all know why, right? Oprah needed some land. The residents don't want to give it up, maybe. But we're totally fine with sending gazillions of dollars to Ukraine. Anyhow, sorry this turned a little bit of a complaining rant. But anyway, guys, I do appreciate you hanging with me tonight on a Friday night. And remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Go leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts on these things. Take care.